People trickle in as they see that it's up, that it's going. Actually, go on YouTube. Go in and edit the stream real quick. Mm,
Damn, I need to hurry up and get into that $15 contest too.
Go ahead, hit that reserve.
I'll do it when we get off the phone.
All right. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe Nodays off DFS here to bring you another WNBA slate breakdown for the 4-game WNBA slate. I'm flashing back to Sunday. If you guys are new here and you guys enjoying the content, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the uploads that we do over here. And drop a like. It definitely means a lot to us. It lets us know that the info that we are putting out over here for you guys are enjoying it and that you guys are getting something from it. Now, this is back-to-back days, and we're going to try to keep this going for the whole week. But I got my boy BK. He's on here with me to break this down. He's already dropping notes. He's dropping props. And if you're not a part of the Patreon, check that link down in the description below so you guys could join the Patreon and you get this stuff before we go live. You get the notes, you get the prop plays before they get bumped because everybody is a WNBA expert in today's day and age. So you know them props are getting bumped left and right. And if you want them before they get bumped, because they flagging his account. They checking his account when he puts something. They checking his account. So make sure you guys check out the Patreon. It's right there. It's $10, and I promise you guys, we make that money back for you. But we want to say something to him. Tell him how you feeling about the slate.
Yeah, man. I like today's slate. I woke up feeling good, so hopefully we can cash out and make some money. Especially that 2 pick I put out today. That should be money. That should be money. So hopefully we can cash out for everybody today.
And if you guys are wondering what the 2 pick that he is referring to, it is already dropped inside the Patreon. It hasn't been bumped yet, but I would expect one of those two props to definitely get bumped. It's definitely going to be those free throws. I expect that one to get bumped with a quickness because I don't know what Joey was thinking on that one right there. That's low. That's low. But all right, like we normally do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the injury report, looking at the starting lineups and things like that. Of course, stuff can change throughout the day, so make sure you guys check this right before the slate locks. And check the Twitter. We normally retweet the starting lineups for these things. Talk to us inside the Discord. We will be bouncing off the things and we drop the starting lineups in there as well. Starting out, the Connecticut Sun taking on the Washington Mystics. For the Sun, it's the same old for them. Hatar, she might be out once again, might be back. There's no telling, but it's not really going to matter too much. They do not rely on their bench that heavy for the Sun. For the Washington Mystics, we want to pay attention to this because Shakira Austin, she is a probable to play, and then Elaine Deladon, she is a game time decision. So she went from being questionable to a game time decision. She's technically trending in the correct direction for a player that we want to play. I'm gonna let you keep on talking about the lineups and stuff. I gotta take this phone call.
All right, bet. Um, well, for me, if I'm starting out, so one reason why I was on Wnba free throws, like I said, 3.5 free throws. That's kind of crazy. And game one, she went 8 from or 11 from the free throw line. Game two, she went 6 of 6, and game three, 4 or 5. So I definitely think she can keep that up, that volume up today in the matchup going up against the Mystics. Also, Alyssa Thomas, just for me, always in play. We know she has triple double upside, a player that can get going. She also has block and steal upside as well. So I definitely like the spot for her today as well. 3 straight games versus this team with 40 plus fantasy points. I don't think you can go wrong there. Um, Tiffany Hayes, I kind of like in tournaments. I do think she's a sneaky play, but definitely comes with some risk. Um, Rebecca Allen is one of those players that if her shot is falling and she can get you those blocks and steals, then she can crush. We just seen her actually have a really nice game. Last game, what did she have in that game? I think she had. Hold on, I just went off of it. She had 4 blocks, 2 steals in that game. So if she can get you some blocks and steals, she's actually a decent play today as well. We see in 28 minutes she put up 20 fantasy points versus this team. So again, you need her shot to fall, and you need her to be getting you some of those blocks and steals for her to crush. Other than that, I don't really like any other cheap plays. I don't know. You can go there, you can look there. I'm not really big on it today. Carrington is okay, but again, not really going there. But for me, that's what I like on the Connecticut side of things.
All right. I came in on the tail end of that, but I did hear most of it, and I do agree with you on that right there. Really, as always, from this team, it's going to start with AT DeWanna Bonner, and that's definitely the same thing I'd be looking at for them. From looking over here with the injury news and stuff, what we need to pay attention to on the Washington side, that right there, you definitely want to make sure you know if Elena Deladon is going to be playing or not today. Again, she went from questionable to now game time decision. That typically means that she is trending towards playing, but we won't get that news until close to the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, it's a 7 p.m. game, so we will have that news before the game starts. Um, if she starts, she starts. She doesn't, she doesn't. Either way, I think it's gonna definitely be one of those bang bang type games. I mean, she's not even back to full minutes anyway. She originally was out due to an ankle, and now you're telling me she got a messed up hip. I'm not going to expect her to play more than the 11, 15 minutes that she played the last game that she just came back before getting
Right.
herself hurt again. So 8-9, fade that. There's no reason to. Definitely wouldn't mind looking towards Austin. I want to say the last game that they actually held her out was just maintenance. They just held her out just to hold her out. So she hasn't had a setback. There's nothing like that or anything. Definitely can go ahead and look to her. They got her still priced at 5'6". She was just 5'8" last slate. She crushed in the 15 minutes that she did play, going out there, dropping 19.25 fantasy points. This could be a cheap GPP type play right here because if she's going to at least play, I'll give her 18, 20 minutes, she could possibly crush that. You know, she is an actual center. AT is not a center. AT is a power forward trying to play the center position. She could actually go out there and crush that no problem. 717 to answer your question, it was free throws, Bonner free throws, or her rebounds. Yeah, you can always look at Bonner's rebounds. Going up against Washington Mystics, they're not a great rebounding team. That has also been due to the fact they are missing their bigs. The bigs are slowly coming back, but Bonner, she does rebound quite a bit, especially. Let me see if I can pull up Bonner's road splits on that one right there for you, real quick. Splits. In away games, she's averaging 5.8 rebounds on the road compared to at home she's averaging 4.9. So practically almost 2 rebounds more on the road right there for Bonner. So there goes that one. All right. Honestly, from this game, I really didn't have too much outside of AT on the Washington side. I wasn't looking too much at anybody. Sykes, you could possibly go there. We've seen even with everyone being back, she's still going to be able to do her thing. Atkins, we've seen her minutes go back up. Possibly you could take a flyer on that, but not really even mess with that. Cloud, luckily struck the right game. Just wish she would have did more peripheral wise, but the points, it was definitely there for her. You could possibly look to Cloud, but that's a GPP option. Everyone else not really looking too keen on mess with them. I could take a stab at Tina Hawkins. Could, even with Austin being back, we know that Austin more likely will still be coming off the bench. Hawkins should be the one starting. Um, Centers have had decent success going up against the Sun, since of course you're not playing a traditional center. You possibly could look to Tina Hawkins today, but not really feeling it. There's definitely, I think this is a pay up at forward spot today, not necessarily a pay down, personally. But that's all I got from that game. If you done with that one too. Oh, I think I just
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
Okay.
Sykes, Austin, like you say, yeah, you hit it on Austin. I would really love to value that for Austin. Sykes, I still kind of like, even with the with the team coming back. I mean, she still got to be aggressive, like you said. Leonard Deladon shouldn't play a fuck ton of minutes today. So with that, Sykes is still gonna have to be aggressive. You can see that the Mystics are sliding and the standings as well. So I definitely think you can go back to Sykes. And I think Hans Allen is a sneaky player as well. I know she comes with major risk, but I think she is still a sneaky play today. So I don't hate that. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got for that game as well.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead on to the next game.
Going over to the Aces taking on the Atlanta Dream, the one game that could possibly be a blowout on today's slate. And if you know the WNBA, this will probably be the opposite of it. This game might be close, but to tell you the truth, this should be a blowout considering that majority of the Dream, they're going to be out. For the Aces, there's nothing new. Candace Parker, same old, same old. For the Dream, that's what we want to pay attention to. They're going to be without Alicia Gray. It says she's a game time decision. She is doubtful to play. It's already been reported out. That was out yesterday. Nia Coffey, she's out with a hand injury. She is not playing. She's out. Right now, we're waiting on word of whether or not if Howard is going to play or not. Not too sure if she's going to play, but if Howard is out, that's 3 starters missing from your starting lineup. You're replacing that with bench players. You're missing pretty much your top 2 scorers. Well, 2 of your top 3 scorers on the team in Ryan and Alicia Gray. You're going to try to replace that production with Ari McDonald and Nas Hillman already. If Ryan was to miss, there's no telling who. I'm pretty sure it would be Haley Jones will get moved into the starting lineup because it'll be Danielle, Haley, Ari McDonald type out there for those 3. And then you got Nas and you got Cheyenne Parker. Out of those 4, is I don't. Going over to it. I'm gonna tell you from just looking at it, legit everything stacks up for this to be a blowout on paper. Yes, Cheyenne Parker, she has killed the Aces. She has value every single time she's played them. She's done great, awesome centers. We attacked them going up against the Aces anyway because I don't know why they suck guarding opposing centers. Cheyenne, she's been playing great, amazing. Shoot, give her most improved if you want to, the way that she's been playing over the last couple games. But I don't see this game being enough for her to go out there and legit just stick it to him. Now, I will say the only thing that gives me some hope in looking at Cheyenne Parker today is the fact that in 26 minutes, she practically dropped 40 fantasy points in that last game versus them where they got destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wrong game. Where is it at? Because it was just here it goes. Correction. In 31 minutes, she went out there and she dropped 30 fantasy points in that game. In 31 minutes. So pretty much she put up a fantasy point per minute. That's the only thing that's keeping me in this is like, okay, all the usage is going to be there for her. She's going to have to do something. She is going to be the team. And if anything, just like what I watched when she played going up against the Sky, they were going to her every single time down there. She was asking for it. They could not stop her. This could possibly be the same thing, but the only thing that deters me from it is the fact of when you take away Alicia Gray, you take away Ryan, that's a lot of your 3-point shooters gone. Haley Jones is not known as a 3-point shooter out yet in this league. She's known as more of a playmaker. Can she shoot? Somewhat. It's not there all the way. Ari McDonald, she's been cold over her last several games. Danielle Robinson, she's not a 3-point shooter. Those are 2 defensive first guards right there that you slid into the starting lineup. Nas, I'm not scared of her pulling up from no threes or nothing like that. You know, without Nia Coffey out there, that's another one of your 3-point shooters that stretches the floor. The floor is going to get shrunk, and I'm really worried that Cheyenne might just get doubled because she's going to be the one you're going to want to have to stop on this team. I really see the Aces being able to just run away with this. But GPP wise, if you want to, you're looking for some value, you got it already over here on the Dream side because now tell me we know she's going to start. She's 3,700. They start Haley Jones at 3,400. Both of these players, they're gonna have to play. It doesn't matter if the game blows out or not. They're going to have to play. And if I'm going to take anyone from this team and from this side, I'm going to take the value plays, the value pieces. Ari McDonald would be a so-so play for me because she's 5'5". When I can come down here and get Haley Jones, who has pretty much she can stuff the stat sheet in all categories besides just getting the assist and points. She also rebounds and plays a little bit of defense. Outside of that, you could take a flyer on Cheyenne, but she's a GPP play specifically because this game has blowout written all over it. And then from the Aces side, you already know all 5 starters are all 4 starters besides Kia Stokes are in play. Asia Wilson being your top play. Jackie Young, of course, my second favorite play as always. There's a little bit of quote unquote revenge smack talk narrative with Kelsey Plum, but I'm gonna let BK take that one over because you already know where I stand on him.
Yeah. Like I said, from a DFS standpoint, I don't like the Kelsey Plum play. I mean, I think she's an okay play. But from a prop play, we know Kelsey Plum to be one of these players that hold grudges. So her and Tanisha Wright getting into it at the end of last game, definitely think it's going to be some extra motivation coming from Plum today. Trust me, she gonna be looking to have a game today. I love her PA. I think it's really low. Like that's really low for her because she can literally go out there and get 20 points alone, and all you need is for her to get 2 assists, and she can get you 20 points in the first half. Especially if you're talking about a player like Ryan Howard being out as well. Alicia Gray, great defender, being out. So I mean, you got backups coming in to chase her all around the floor. Like, yeah, it's I can see them trying to go with Ari, a player that's a pesky defender, quick as well. Probably could chase her all game, but trust me, she's small and gonna get lost in a couple of those screens. So I definitely think Plum can get open for a couple of threes today. Like I said, don't like it from a DFS standpoint, but if we talking about props, I love her today. Um, for me, you said that you didn't really like Stokes that much. For me, I wouldn't overlook Stokes. She's gonna be super low on. She's at a nice price as well. I believe she's at like 5.3 as well. If you think this game is going to be a blowout, then you don't really need Asia Wilson, which means you can go to Stokes, who is also another player that can see some of that garbage run as well. If this game does get out of hand, in 20 minutes, she had 16 fantasy points. In 24 minutes, she had 26 fantasy points. In 27 minutes, she had 28 fantasy points. You talk about a player that has 3 games in her last 10 over 25 fantasy points. Nobody is going to be on that play today. I personally love the play. Just for the simple fact that she's right there with who was it again? Shakira Austin. She's right there with Austin at a price point on DraftKings. So you're gonna have more people possibly gravitate towards Austin because again her minutes should be ramping back up. Like Zoe said, she was held out last game for maintenance, not for injury or anything like that. So her minutes should be going back up. And again, we know that she can crush even in limited minutes. And just like I said, with the minutes and production that Stokes has been getting these last few games, not a lot of people is going to look there, but I do like it. I don't hate it a ton. So I like Kid Stokes today. One of my favorite value plays on the slates for DraftKings. Also, you can look at Kristen Bell. Um, she's a decent value play, 18 minutes, 20 fantasy points. She also followed that game up with another 18 minutes and put up 8 fantasy points. So just know the risk there. You see the ceiling and you see the floor. She's not going to see a ton of minutes unless the game blows out. And then she can possibly get you somewhere over that 20 fantasy points. But I do like that as value as well. Jackie Young has just crushed in this matchup. You need for it to be a game though in order to play her. 3 straight 30 plus fantasy games versus this team. Like I said, her blocks and steals, man, she was doing it versus the starters. She was already getting the 1.5 versus the starters. So you got to think that with the backups, this is another spot that she can get those blocks and steals. I think Plum may be a good. Yeah, I even in the blowout, like her PRA, her PA, her points for sure. 3 point combos. I'm gonna be looking at all of that today. Definitely think she's a good play today, especially like I said for prop wise. Like he said, he touched on Cheyenne Parker. I'm cool with the value. Billings also has upside in this spot, but value and blowout proof. So other than that, that's where I'm at with that game, bro.
All right. I do. I just thought about something, and I kind of want to touch on it. I forgot about it. This is not going to be unconventional, but if we're thinking blowout, there's another value play that we could possibly go to. It's not the prettiest, I will say. Kayla George. She played 21 minutes in that last game. That was a blowout.
Yeah.
She went out there and she gave us 15.25 fantasy points
Mm-hmm.
at 3,400. She's pretty much the same price as Haley Jones. Different
Yeah.
positions, of course, but this is another option.
Yep.
We've heard reports supposedly coming from Becky Hammond that she needs to start using her bench more. We've seen Kayla George actually check in that last game in the first. Well, I think it was either the first quarter or the beginning of the second quarter. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
can look to Kayla George as a possible play. She did go 2 of 7 in 9 minutes, but still dropped 11.75 fantasy points in the game, going up against the Sparks, which was a tight game, close game, and they lost. So possible. I don't know. Maybe she might say bump that. I'm riding my starters like I normally do. It cost me a game. But then again, the Aces, they have the number one seed locked up. There's no real need to. We're towards the end of the season anyway. Might actually see them maybe lean to the bench just a little bit, but that is something to consider when looking at that right there. All right, going over to the next game, the Storm taking on the Sky. Injury report, no news to report for either one of these teams right here. This game right here, I think will actually be one of the more closer games that we can actually look at on the slate. Should be competitive. Hopefully, we got Jewel Lloyd, Easy, Sam, Horston, and Fancam all normal starters for them. Last time Jewel Lloyd faced the Sky, she didn't do too hot. They actually held her pretty much in check. 36 minutes, she dropped 35 fantasy points. That is by no means a Jewel Lloyd type game. She only had 15 points in that game. And then the game before that, she played 36 minutes, only gave us 23 fantasy points. So for me, Jewel Lloyd is a GPP play because she has not had the best games going up against the Sky so far. Um, that take it with a grain of salt. Of course, we do know if she can get the score in the fall, she's going to do really great. I don't mind looking at more towards the easy. Sammy, she owes us some money after the last game, going out there pretty much giving a dud. Was hot in the first half. Second half didn't do nothing. And honestly, it was probably the main reason why they lost that game too, going up against the Lynx because nobody outside of Lloyd did anything for the Storm. So that can definitely look at easy. I definitely feel like this is a spot she should be able to take advantage of Elena Smith down there. We've seen that Elizabeth Williams, she should have her hands full with Mercedes Russell anyway. The rebounding, the shooting, all that should be there for Easy to be able to go out there and do her thing. Playing going up against the Sky earlier, 32 minutes, she dropped 42.75 fantasy points. After in that first game, she played 29 and only gave us 20.25. But she was a bit in foul trouble in that first game going up against them. So that second one, I definitely like the production that she gave us in that one. Definitely a consideration. Possibly you can go to her. Of course, you can come down. Some people might not like this, but I do have some interest in Kia Nurse. She's seen the minutes over the last 3-4 games. Well, after her last 5 games, she's seeing minutes. She's actually playing some minutes, but she's producing in the last 3 games 20, 13, and 14 fantasy points, and 26, 17, and 19 minutes. They're going to her off the bench. She is doing a little bit more than just scoring. She's getting a couple of rebounds, getting a couple of assists. And if she can bring it on the defensive side, that'd be great as well. Playing against the Sky early in the season, 12 and 11 minutes in both those games, 5.5 fantasy points and 3.25 fantasy points. So definitely a GPP play at 3,800. We do have other value on the slate. Not telling you that you got to slam Nurse, but if you want something from that side of the game, that is a possibility. On the Sky side, this is, to me, this got to be a Maria Marbury game. I don't see how it's not. I don't see how she can't go out here and actually light them up. Playing against them in 29 minutes, she dropped 38.75 fantasy points in that first game. The second game, they held her in check, where she only went 2 of 9, and she dropped 12 fantasy points. This is definitely just looking at her game logs and look at what she's done over the last several games. She's been down, 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 down. Nothing by the standards of Marbury. This is a spot, low ownership. She can pop off and have a big day. We seen what the guards going up against the Storm did from the Lynx. McBride, she was hitting her threes. She was sinking them. She was looking good out there. Tiffany Mitchell, they were letting her be able to go out there and do what she wanted to do, scoring wise and everything. And Marbury, she can do a little bit of everything because she play makes and she can rebound. She brings a little bit on the defensive side. She's a lot bigger than some of these guards out here. She will definitely be able to match up with Jewel Lloyd. And plus, when you got Courtney Williams to be able to soak up that defensive pressure on Lloyd, you might end up having Marbury have some Sammy on her. Definitely will be able to get what she wants, especially with the bigs that they have. And then Copper, can't forget about her. But for me, the guards is going to be Marbury. Then I'll go to Copper and then Courtney Williams right there in that order. I do have some interest in Elizabeth Williams, unfortunately, because they are going to need her. She is going to have to play the minutes out here going up against the big front court that the Storm have, and she's seeing the minutes once again. Played 37 minutes in the last game going up against the Sun, 29.75 fantasy points. Definitely a spot that we can look at going to her again. And then Lana Smith, that'll be a GPP option. And of course, my girl, I gotta say it, Dana Evans. She was at 4.9 last slate, and I played her. They got her at 4.1. You know she is in my pool. You know I'm going right back to that. That's just value right there. I don't know why they dropped that right on her, but if this is a shootout, shoot or shoot, she dropped 15 and 17 fantasy points in 2 games versus them already. I'm not worried about her not getting at least 15 fantasy points at 4-1. If I want security out of all the value plays, I'm looking at Dana. But the upside, everyone else has that at the 3-4 and 3-8. But Dana, if you're looking for something cheap, I start there with her if you're not gonna play Marbury or something like that. What you got?
All right. For me, um, Jewel Lloyd in Chicago is a thing. I know, once again, like he said, she didn't have the best shooting game last game, but if you go back to 2018 and look at the season that she had then without Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart, she dropped 250 burgers versus them, both of them in Chicago. I believe, I want to say both games she was in Chicago where she dropped those 50 point games. So she definitely has the upside. We know that she can get there. She only took 14 shots in that game where she didn't shoot good. I think she was like 5 of 14 in that game. We know that she can take upwards of 20 shots in a game. So as long as her shot is falling, Jewel, like he said, is a very nice tournament play today, a sneaky tournament play. That'll be lower on considering all the other pair of spots that's on the slate. Um, like you said, like Ezzy for tournaments, Wickham owed me money with them 3-point attempts. I like Horston. I do like Kid Nurse. That's so crazy that you said that. So I do really like her as well. But that's crazy. I don't know. Like, it's so much value on the slate. We really don't have to, but that's one of those plays that, man, could really take you to the money if you get weird, if you maxing out the $15 or anything like that. Um, Other than that, like you said, on the Sky side, Kalia Copper for me definitely in play. She's coming off what, 4 down games, and the Sky on the outside of the playoffs looking in right now. So she has to get her shit in gear and get going. 33 and 39 fantasy points already versus this team. So a win today could put them in the right spot to get back into the playoff picture. So I definitely love Kalia Copper today. Like you said, I like Mabry as well as a sneaky play. Liz Williams, 30 or more fantasy points in 4 of the last 5 of her games. So somebody called it last time. I steered them wrong. She's definitely a decent play. I should have took um a better look at her last 5 and I didn't. But she's definitely a nice tournament play today, as well as Alana Smith. I think both of those plays are fine. Alana Smith was 7 and 5 stocks in each of those games versus the Storm. So that right there alone tells you she has the upside. All you need her to do is do a little bit of scoring and a little bit of rebounding. If she throws you a couple assists in there, that's cool too. But with those stocks, especially on FanDuel, where you get 3 points for steals and blocks and steals, love the play over there. Like I said, 7 and 5 stocks in both of those games, man. You gotta love the upside there. Like you said, need her to score. Just make sure she'll come out flat and she'll have a good day. But other than that, that's everything that I'm on. No real value plays in that game for me besides Kia Nurse. I do like Courtney Williams, but for me, I'm prioritizing Mabry and Copper right now.
You don't like my
And
girl
then it'll
Dana
probably
Evans?
be Liz Williams, then Alana
You don't
Smith.
like my girl Evans?
I do, but bro, like it's only so much value that I'm gonna play.
True.
Like you have the Atlanta value in a really great spot. Dana Evans, if like you said, if you like Mabry, then that means Evans not gonna see that much time because Courtney Williams is still the floor general, no matter how bad she plays. Kalia Copper is just going to be on the floor unless she
Yep.
is just like in foul trouble and having a really shit game. They very rarely just not play her. So if you like Mabry, that's the only other player that she can take her spot and take her minutes. So if you like Mabry today, it don't make sense to go to Evans. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically the player that you need to be having a bad game for her to see more minutes.
True.
But
True.
it's not to say that they won't leave Courtney Williams on the bench too. It's just with her playmaking ability, bro. She can literally go out there and have 2 points and give you 11 assists, 7 rebounds, crazy shit like that. Like she just does more of the Courtney Williams does more of the dirty work, which is why you need her in there, especially when your bigs are not rebounding because there shouldn't have been no reason why Williams and Alana Smith missed that combo rebound prop last time.
bro. Especially after Lana Smith had 17 rebounds in that first game, ridiculous, ridiculous. Actually, let me look at something.
Yeah.
Let me see how many minutes did Mercedes Russell play in that second game, because that might have actually been the difference maker for him. She played 16 minutes in both games. All right. I mean, they got a price. I don't like it. All right. Last game. Last game. Dallas Wings taking on Minnesota Lynx. From Dallas, they're still going to be without Odysseus. She is out due to her hamstring. So possibly could open up some more minutes for Burton off the bench. Other than that, nothing else for them. And then for the Minnesota Lynx, they're still without Lindsay Allen. So nothing new for that. Looking at this right here. We were on her in the last game. Satu should have popped off in that last game, which she technically did. She technically did.
Yeah.
She just didn't score. That's what happened. She technically had a very good game. 10 assists, 6 rebounds, but only 9 points. If it was a regular scoring Satu game, it would have broke the slate. Hands down. Hands down. Now, going into this game, I will say she should be able to go out here and do what she want to do, have another great game, so on and so forth. She dropped 52 and 42 points going up against them already. We know the defense of the Minnesota Lynx is not the greatest defense in the world. She is going to be bigger than anybody that they put on her, because more than likely Fee will be on Natasha Howard. Like that's what that should be right there. Fee should be on Natasha Howard. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm live. So you got that going for her. She's going to either draw more than likely Caleb McBride will probably be trying to defend her, or Tiffany Mitchell might try to disrupt her. But either way, she's going to have the size advantage, and she'll be able to go out there and do what she want to do and have a pretty decent game. But if you don't want to go to her, Natasha Howard, that's another play that you can definitely go to right here in the spot. I do have some interest in Howard with what she can definitely bring to the table. Going over here, she's dropped 38 and 57 fantasy points. But of course, Satu was more consistent in regards to it. And then if you don't want to play neither one of those, you can always, I'm never going to be against this, drop down to Tierra McCowan, who's sitting on there at 9-1. She only played in one out of the 2 games that they played going up this season, and she dropped 30 plus fantasy points in that game. As you can see, she's at least playing 27, 25 minutes in her last 2 games, and she dropped at least 30 fantasy points in both those games. So over a fantasy point per minute. The biggest thing, of course, is them getting her the ball and them getting to her. We just seen opposing centers. I mean, they have had their way going up against the Minnesota Lynx. But if you want to pay down, and you were on this last game, and I was like, I don't know. But you were on this last game with the Kalani Brown. If you want to play Kalani Brown, she did play 27 minutes, but this was on the May 30th game. I'm pretty sure this is not the same game that McCown played in.
That was the game that McCown missed.
Yeah.
That was the game that McCown. And then the game that McCown played in,
Kalani didn't play. Yeah.
I don't think Shepard played.
Yeah, Shepard didn't play in that game either. So
there's a whole shit going on.
It's a little skewed, but when I look at it, if you want to, you could possibly drop down here from Tierra McCowan to Kalani Brown. She's been very productive in the limited minutes that she's getting, and I don't think that's going to change, especially when, again, if you watch the Dallas Wings, she gets on the court, she is very aggressive, like looking for her shot. She's very aggressive trying to rebound, sometimes too aggressive because she can get into foul trouble, but she's definitely making an impact every time she steps on the court. If they're going to only play Kiera 25, 27 minutes, you could definitely look to possibly go into Kalani Brown in the situation. Outside of that, you already know Arike is Arike. If her shot's falling, she's going to have a great game. Other than that, you don't got to worry about that. And then, like we said, with Odysseus being out, Burton, she's possibly going to see a couple more minutes. She saw 14 minutes in that last game, gave us 13.5 fantasy points. So definitely another option that you could possibly go to if you're looking at value. But again, I don't feel like you have to necessarily go there, because Dallas does run their starters pretty deep into games, especially if it's going to be a close game. I would hope that this game right here is going to be a close game right there. On the Dallas side, Fee, she did not have a good game. This is a team that has size. Fee does not play well going against teams that have size. This is one of them. I will actually be fading Fee today. She's a GPP play because any slate she can go off, but that's GPP for me. If I'm looking at anything, it'll be the guards for the Minnesota Lynx. That'll be between Caleb McBride and Tiffany Mitchell. And as you can see, Tiffany Mitchell, 5,300. She's going to at least play 25 minutes and up. perfect spot for her to at least go out there and give me 20 plus fantasy points, I will take that, especially if the shot is falling. She can get a couple of assists, maybe get a steal or two. Long as she's starting, they dropped her price from 6,100 down to 53. Makes no sense for that. I would go right back to that, especially with at least a floor of 20 fantasy points. I will go to that all day, every day. All right, but go ahead.
Man, love everything you talked about. That was my biggest thing. Was Tiffany Mitchell. Like, why did she drop in price last time out versus them? 37 minutes, she put up 28 fantasy points. She, like you said, she definitely has the upside. Even in 25 minutes, I definitely think she sees more today, especially if the game is competitive. So far, it's only been one blowout game so far. I think that was the game that Tiffany Mitchell missed. Not saying that she would have made a big ass difference, but so far it's only been one blowout. If they can keep this to the spread, 6-7 points, then we'll definitely be good with some fantasy goodness in this one. Like you said, Arike Gumbawale, what 39 fantasy points, 49 fantasy points versus this team. She definitely can go out there and get busy. Always in playing tournaments. Love going back to Sabali. I'm definitely going back there. Like he said, she really did have a good game. She did have one. She just wasn't making shots. I don't think she go 3 straight games and not making shots. So I'm going right back to her today, especially after she let down the 2 spots. She can drop some ownership as well today. Even with her being in a nice spot. I mean, think about it. The last 3 spots, she has crushed the teams like 40 and 50 fantasy points versus them. And the last meetings, and then just let down. So you got to know that she's going to drop some type of ownership from some people. Only the real that know is going to go back to Sabali today. I love her today. Natasha Howard, like you said, 38 and 57 fantasy points. We see the upside from both of these players. Natasha Howard would say to Sabali, even with McCowan in, they both still can crush. So I love both of those plays over McCowan today. And like he said, Kalani Brown, if we saying the odd man out for Force today, I think Tierra McCowan is probably the odd man out. I do think that she can still get you 30 fantasy points. So I don't mean the odd man out as she's going to dud today. I'm saying the odd man out as you don't really need her. The players that I think pop off as far as forwards, I'm listing them as Sabali, Howard, Kalani Brown. Then I'm going to Tierra McCowan. Just for the simple fact, like I said, if this game does get out of hand, then Tierra McCowan is probably going to be the first one to sit because she's been the one that has been injured, coming back from overseas playing as well. She could use a break at any given point in time in the season, especially when they up on the team. Um, After that, like he said, Collier tournament play. McBride, I like. She's been getting at it these last few games. So I don't mind going back to her. She definitely has the upside. Diamond Miller is one player that's interesting to me. She had 21 fantasy points and 12 minutes in that first game. The followed that up with 24 minutes and 11 fantasy points. So you see that she has the upside. You see the floor. Again, nice tournament play there. A lot of people won't be on her as well. So I do like going there. Powers, I do think you can look to as a punt. I feel like coaches just I don't know what the fuck she's doing with Power, but it is a revenge spot for her. So if there's a game that she should play her in, it should be this one instead of that last game where we needed her to actually do the right thing and play Utah so they could have kept that game close. She burnt a lot of our props last game, but I think if you're going to play her in a spot, it should be this game going up against her former team in Dallas. So if she sees some minutes, she did see some minutes in that second game, had 16 minutes. She put up 13 fantasy points. So, I mean, if she sees some minutes, then she should be good money too. I do kind of like that there. Other than that, that's pretty much all I am on in that game.
All right. So the one thing with Powers, like what you were saying, don't know what coach is on, but I will say
Mhm.
every time that Powers elite or someone points it out, it gets some type of notoriety either through WNBA media or just on Twitter and something like that. I've noticed that she's kind of gotten minutes, which literally just happened recently. She called out the fact that trade deadline there was teams interested in her. Both parties got to agree. Then she said, "That's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna be back here next year. Granted, I don't expect her to be back. They're not giving her minutes, and she's actually a good player. You're wasting her on the bench, and then of course you wouldn't trade her. That's just stupid. That's selfish, honestly.
Mm.
I don't know what the heck Powers did to coach, but anyway, she got 16 minutes in the last game, and she put up 16 fantasy points. Definitely a very deep GPP play that has a lot of risk. I would not play that unless you're multi-entering and you're just okay with losing your entry on that one. We did have a question from 717. He said McBride points or PRA. I see her scoring with no problem.
For me, it'll probably be PRA. Her PRA has been really low. Her PRA, and then I will look at the 3-point combo with a
Okay, let's pull that up.
I'm so mad at myself because they had a 3-point combo last time out with Arike Gumbawale and Natasha Cloud at 3.5. And I didn't pull the trigger. I said it to myself. This shit is free.
They only got Arike and Fatu up.
Yeah, I see that. They haven't done mixed
Yeah, I
pairs
see that
yet.
now.
But the 3.5s, like, look, they got Copper and Mabry at 3.5. Mabry can hit 2. Mabry can hit 3. Hell, look.
She can. If we're really feeling like today's gonna be her day.
Because here's the thing. Right now, Kalia Copper 1 and 2 in the games that they've played so far. 1 and 4. You see what I'm saying? Mabry hit 4 in one game, so I definitely like that 3-point combo.
Yeah, she made 4. Yeah, 4.
It looked game and smacked enough. Mabry can literally go out there and carry that prop by herself, like Kelsey Mitchell just did.
Yo, that Kelsey Mitchell game the other day was crazy. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You seen any other props that popped up? Let me see if they actually got some of the first half props up. I know if you guys like to live on the edge.
I'm just me personally. I'm gonna do my list and I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm out here sweating like a slave, bro. I gotta get back in this AC, fam.
I feel you, bro.
Ooh, it's hot.
Well, if y'all want a first half sweat, especially from the first game, I got Jackie Young and Cheyenne Parker fantasy scores. That's one that I've already put in for the day. I like that one.
I do like Copper free throws, bro. I don't mind that. It was at 3 the last when it first opened up. I don't know if it's still at 3, but I like Copper free.
Yeah, it's still sitting at 3. Yeah. So could definitely take Copper's free throws. Any other questions?
Oh, Jewel Lloyd 3's up. Yeah, let me go to these props fast.
All right. Any other questions before we go ahead and end the stream? If you guys want to see his full player prop list and everything, core plays and stuff that we put out for not only Prize Picks, Underdog, Sports Battle, DraftKings, FanDuel, all the things that we play on, check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. But if you got any questions, ask those questions. I will answer right now on the stream so way you guys don't have to check out the Patreon. But go ahead. I'll let you guys give you a second to get any questions in if anyone has any other questions. I'll give you guys a GPP core while we're just sitting here, while I'm sitting here waiting. Arike under assist. Why would you take Arike under assist? Let's see. Arike in her games going up against the Lynx, she has 11 assists and 5 assists. What could they possibly have Arike assist at that you want to take it under? They have it at 4.5. She has gone over in both games. And she just had 8 assists, even in a game where you had where you just had Satu pop off for 10 assists. On top of that, let's see. The Lynx are giving up 5.8 assists a game to guard 1 starters. I would not advise taking the under on that assist. Prize Picks is getting you with that trap of that last 5. For sure, for sure. If we're expecting Satu to pop off and actually have a good game, I know she rarely goes over, but if we're expecting Satu and the bigs and stuff like that to be able to have a good game in this game, one of those things is definitely going to have to be getting that ball past, possibly Enrique getting some dimes, some easy dimes. If they actually look to him, this should be an easy game for the bigs in this one to be able to have a good game. Definitely, definitely. Now you good 717. But build out a quick GPP core. Let's see. We'll go with Alyssa Thomas, something I was playing with earlier. Go with Kia Nurse, and go with Elizabeth Williams. Leaves you with enough salary to possibly put in one of those mid-tier plays like Tiffany Mitchell. Then you can fill it out with 2 other 4s right there. Gives you more than enough salary to be able to do something like that. So that's definitely a GPP playing option right there. If I was to build out a GPP type 5 flex slip, I'll give you guys one. It would definitely be Jackie Young, Cheyenne Parker, 2 plays that I'm already on for the day. Over on those, I do like Brittany Sykes over for hers. Like I said, with how high that I am on Satu for today, it would definitely be an over on Satu for her fantasy points as well. And then Elizabeth Williams, hers as well. So that's a quick little 5 flex if you guys, and I'll go ahead and I'll put it in. Right now, my unit size is $5. Of course, slowly building back up. I got a ton of plays that I got in for the day already. So, yeah. Don't think just because the bankroll is low that I'm not playing. All right, gray assist or plum assist? Was about to sneeze. All right, let's see. Assist. Let's look at it. Plum diddly dum dum dum. I kind of feel like Plum's going to be on a scoring tangent in this one. She's gone over her assist line probably, once in this? Yeah, she's gone over that once. And then Gray, I don't know. This is just such a blowout heavy game. I really don't like it. 6 assists, 7 assists, 4 assists. The assists for neither one of them is very, very not. Neither one of them, their assists. Gray hasn't gone over 7 assists in the past 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons. Last 4 seasons, she has not gone over that assist total. Granted, yes, there will be backups trying to play in this game. That's a tough one. I honestly would not trust that prop. Same thing for Plum. This could be just a high-flying, just shootout type game for them. I do not agree with either one of those assists. That's definitely going to be a fade. I would only put that into a 5 flex, 6 flex play if I'm playing that. That would be the only way that would make my lines. Let's look over here. Over here on the, pulling up the DGF optimizer real quick. Let's build something out with this. If you guys don't know, I've been over here on the DGF optimizer. Been running this lately. Well, not lately. Been running this for the past month or so. Working with them on their whole thing, doing the EV betting. If you guys want to try it out, check the link down in the description below. It is, you can get you guys a free week trial with using it. It's actually really good if you want to take your betting to the next step. I've already played a lot of these League of Legends plays, so I'm going to take those out. Just give me the regular plays. All right, so let's see. Fee and Kayla McBride. You have her over for her points. I don't necessarily agree with that, but this gets to take the bias out of it. That's already actually been bumped up to 34.5. Building out to 6 flicks. So that's already been bumped. I don't like that. I'm not going to mess with that. Let's see. Satu, Natasha Howard, over 32 points. Okay, that one's still there. So we got that one. Brittany Sykes and Natasha Cloud, their combo points over, that's already been bumped to 29.5. I'm not going to mess with that. Let's see. McBride and Diamond Miller over 32. Whoa, That has been bumped a lot. Nope, I lied. No, wait. Kelly McBride. Oh, no, Diamond Miller. Yeah, that's at 25. I was looking at two of them. Threw me off for a second. Ezzy McBagor over her rebounds and assists. They got it at 9.5. So if you guys are not understanding what I'm looking at, so of course I'm looking at what my book that I'm playing on, which is Prize Picks, has it at. And then of course this is comparing the line to what someone else has it at, which is it's sitting at 10 over on Sports Battle. So that's the line discrepancy that we're getting. Right now, it is projected to hit at a minus 151 hit rate for Ezzy McBagor to go over the 9.5 to get to that 10. Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely would go ahead and fade that. Let's see. Chelsea Gray. Oh, look, there goes the answer for that. Chelsea Gray under 7. She's sitting at 6.5 on what book? Over on, so DraftKings has her as a plus 100 to go under 7 assists. Let's see. Badova and Underdog. Underdog has her at 6.5 assists as well. So we could take that into account. Let's see. We'll play. Oh, that Kelly McBride play just got bumped right as soon as I put it into my slip. Huh. Let's add this in with the taco. I'm going to play the taco into this slip. Let's see. We'll get Verlander with these walks allowed over 1.5. If that's still up, I doubt it is because that's a pretty low prop to have up. Nope, that's not up anymore. Satu and Tier already got that one. Alyssa Thomas over 10 rebounds. Alyssa Thomas over 10 rebounds. And I've already played that one right there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I just built out a 5-pick slip. 5-pick slip, definitely get that Ezzy 9.5 as a play. I was just seeing playing $5 first taco slip that I got in for the day using the DGF optimizer. If you guys want to check it out, definitely go over here. You can put it for whatever type of slip you're trying to build. So if I was trying to build a flex 3, it will show me any props that actually average out. That would be good Vegas odds for flex 3. Right now we're only playing flex 6 and flex 5. So it's giving me what it is right here for those. If you want to do the DFS middling tool, go over to the tool. Typically you'll be playing one of these other books as well, but you're going to look for the line discrepancy between the two. So right now, Alyssa Thomas, and this is how I use it. This is how I've made money using this right here. So easy prop, we'll look at Alyssa Thomas. Right now, Price Picks has her at 18.5. It's favoring the under due to other books. But before you just take it, okay, she's only at 17.5 on one other book, and that's Underdog. I normally will not take this just because only one book agrees with that. I'm not going to take it. I would look for more than one book to be in agreement with that right there for me to actually want to take it. Let me see. Find one that's actually pretty good that we can use. All right, so like this one right here, Bobby Miller, under 5. Granted, 4.5, it's not a lot, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different books agree, and there's all 5 of these books are agreeing that this line should be set at a 4.5. If you know anything with baseball, they can get lit up pretty easily, pretty quick. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets pulled. Only has 4 strikes on the day. It's happened more times than not, especially for me whenever it comes down to baseball. Looking at it, if you guys favor more of like an over approach, trying to find something else. Like this one right here, Alyssa Thomas, under 8 assists. 2 other books are agreeing on the under on her assists at 7.5. Of course, it is favoring, okay, she should go over that 7.5, minus 137 and minus 122. But if you want to just middle it, take the under right here at the 8, and then you go over on Underdog and take the over 8 on that site. But really don't see too much else over here on that one right there. If you guys don't got nothing else for me, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Hopefully see you guys in the green. Talking down in the comment section. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys have not done so already. Drop a like on the video if we did help you guys. We will see you on the next big